You've probably heard the phrase nervous system regulation a lot lately. It's everywhere. It's on podcasts, social media, wellness spaces, and conversation about stress, anxiety, burnout, performance, wellness, healing, all of it. But I think for a lot of people, it still sounds a little vague. It sounds like something important that we should know, but do we truly understand what it means? And more importantly, what does it mean in real life? Because nervous system regulation is not just a trendy phase. It shapes how you respond to stress, how you move through conflict, how easily you get overwhelmed, how quickly you recover, and even how safe or unsafe you feel in your own body. So in this video, I want to slow it down and make it simple. Let's discuss what regulation or nervous system regulation actually means, what it doesn't, and how it can change the way you relate to yourself. I think one of the reasons why this really matters right now is that so many people live with more pressure than they actually realize. Not big, dramatic stress necessarily, but constant stimulation, constant thinking, constant responsibility. You're always on, always processing, always moving from the one thing to the next. And over time, that does something to the body. So you might still be functioning, you might be working well, still being productive, a good output, showing up and getting things done. But underneath, your system might be carrying something else. It might be carrying tension, frustration, bracing. It may show up as emotional reactivity or just that feeling that you can't really fully shut off. And that is where this conversation becomes so important. At the simplest level, your nervous system is a part that helps to sense and respond to the world around you. So it's constantly taking in information, like what is happening around me, what is happening inside of me. Am I safe? Do I need to prepare? Do I need to protect? Or can I soften? Can I connect? Can I rest? A lot of this happens beneath conscious thought. So your body reacts before your mind can even fully make sense of what is happening. And that is why you might logically know that something is fine, but your body is still tense. Or maybe you tell yourself, just calm down. But the body doesn't respond to your best ideas, it responds to what it perceives. So when we talk about nervous system regulation, what does that actually mean? Now for me, nervous system regulation doesn't mean to be calm all the time. It doesn't mean that you'll never feel stressed. It doesn't mean becoming perfectly peaceful or zen, and it doesn't mean controlling every emotion. And it especially doesn't mean becoming passive or numb. Nervous system regulation is the capacity to respond, recover, and return. It's the ability to move through life with a little more steadiness, to notice when your body becomes activated, and to recognize when you're moving towards overwhelm, anxiety, disconnection, reactivity, and shutdown. And to have the awareness and the tools to guide yourself back to safety, to presence, and to balance. That is regulation. Not perfection or constant calm, but just the ability to return back to yourself. And that is where everything changes. Because life will still life. There will always be moments of stress, moments of frustration, difficult conversations, and uncertainty. There'll still be moments that trigger you, that stretch you or frustrate you or just tire you out. Because the goal is not getting rid of those moments, even if we could, it's not even possible. The goal is to become more resourced in how you meet those moments. Sometimes people think that dysregulation shows up either as panic, anxiety, or obvious overwhelm. But dysregulation can show up in much quieter ways as well. It can look like feeling easily irritated, snapping faster than usual, struggling to focus, overthinking everything, wired but tired, not being able to fully relax, withdrawing yourself emotionally, feeling heavy, flat, disconnected, or stuck. And sometimes you'll notice it as carrying tension in your jaw, your chest, your shoulders, or in your belly. It can also look like always doing, always staying busy, always staying productive, always switched on. Because for many people, staying in motion feels safer than stillness. So dysregulation doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just looks like a person who hasn't truly taken a good exhale for a while. And I think this is where the confusion also comes in. When people hear the word regulation or regulated, they often think they need to be calm, more in control, or more composed. But sometimes what calm looks like from the outside might actually be shut down from the inside. So someone might look still, quiet, calm and composed, but inside they might feel disconnected, exhausted or frozen. And someone else might look activated or emotional from the outside. But what is happening there is that the nervous system is struggling to find enough safety to truly settle. So this is not about performing calm. It's about building real capacity, real steadiness, real presence, real recovery. And that is very different. Let's make it practical. Imagine you're at the end of a very long day. So you've been working all day, making decisions, carrying mental load, dealing with messages, maybe you're even holding a lot for the people around you. And at the end of the day, something small happens. Let's say it's an email that comes in or someone that speaks to you in the wrong tone. Your partner maybe asks you a simple question. Maybe plans have changed. Maybe it's traffic. And suddenly, your reaction is bigger than the moment. You feel short and tense, maybe tearful, frustrated, flat, just done. A lot of people judge themselves in this moment. They think, what is wrong with me? Why am I overreacting? Why can't I handle this normally? But often that moment is not the whole story. The nervous system has been carrying a buildup. And that small thing is only what made it visible. And that is such an important shift because instead of making it a character flaw, you understand that it is a nervous system state. And once you understand that, you can start to work with it differently. Now, the first step in regulation is awareness, noticing. Noticing how your body responds under pressure, noticing your patterns, noticing your triggers, noticing the early signals before you hit a wall. Maybe your breathing becomes shallow, or if you're anything like me, you even hold your breath. Maybe your shoulders tense and your thoughts just spiral. Maybe you go very quiet, maybe you become abrupt. Maybe you stop feeling much at all. Awareness gives you the choice, and from there, the work becomes learning how to support the body. Through breath, through slowing down, through grounding, through movement, through better transitions, through rest, and maybe through the small moments of returning to yourself throughout your day. These things don't magically remove stress, but they change the signal to the body. It rather sends a signal of safety, of enoughness, a signal that the body does not have to stay braced all the time. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. Nervous system regulation is not about becoming someone who never gets affected. It's about becoming someone who understands what is happening inside of them and how to return to their body, to their breath, to the present moment, to a steadier version of themselves. And that is a skill, a practice. This is something you can build. Now, if this space is something you want to learn more of, that is what this channel is for. We are going to discuss triggers, stress, overwhelm, body awareness, yoga, breath, resilience, and how to live and lead from a more regulated place. We'll do this honestly and practically. So if that speaks to you, you are very welcome here. And if you want to, let me know in the comments what nervous system regulation has meant to you this far, or if you are just beginning to understand it. I'll see you in the next video.